Hi everybody, it's Kate. Today I am talking about another movie, and if you can tell by the freaking cover, I'm talking about a Lizzie McGuire movie. So, a little preface. So I've not watched any Lizzie McGuire, the TV show, or the movie, so it was all new for me, but I was like, I kind of knew the gist of it, where I was like, I know she's like a kid and stuff. So I watched it with my sisters, and hands down, loved it so much. It was amazing. So our main character is obviously Lizzie McGuire, her best friend Gordo, and then secondary characters, her brother, who is an evil little brat, whose name is Matt. So Lizzie just graduates junior high, and they're going on a school trip to Rome. At the graduation, she has to give a speech because the valedictorian got sick, and she's the treasurer, so she needs to speak. And she completely bombs, and then she like trips, and then she knocks everything down, and it gets posted to like a bunch of news sites because her stupid little brother was recording it. Horribly embarrassing for her, but also it's so mean that like the brother posted it. And he has like a whole folder, like a whole fucking briefcase full of like blackmail on my sister, and it's like, girl, get a life. I can't imagine if one of my sisters was my biggest op. Like, that would be horrible. Anyways, they go to Rome, and it's like a class trip, and they meet the new principal for the high school. So like they're all being like, okay, we're gonna have her for the next 4 years, and her name is Miss Ungermeyer, and she's like really mean, and like mean in the way where it's like she's very strict, and I feel so bad. So Gordo's trying to talk to her, and she's like, I don't like brown nosers. That's so mean. Can you imagine you're just like trying to like be nice to your future principal because you're like scared of authority or whatever, and it's like, you're a brown noser, ass kisser, I don't want to talk to you. They go to the hotel in Rome, and she and her evil ex-best friend, current enemy, Kate, are roommates, and neither of them want to be. Like, Kate is so mean to her and is like, do you remember when you tripped at graduation? Yeah, that's really embarrassing.
I just wanted to let you know, I understand that you want to put all that really embarrassing stuff behind you and just move on and have a fresh start. I don't think you can do it at all. Let it go.
They're like exploring stuff in Rome, and it's like a really fast trip, so they get like 1 minute, and then this guy randomly comes up to her and is like, Isabella? Are you Isabella? And she's like, no, I'm Lizzie McGuire. And he's like, ah, you look like Isabella, this my singing partner. Like, this is like a famous pop star who, mind you, is 17. She is 14. It's so gross. It's like, girl, beginning of high school versus end of high school. And it's so funny because he's like, he has like a little, not little, a bodyguard with him, and his name is Sergey. And then she's like, oh, I have to go because my group is leaving. And then he's like, he kind of like follows them, and then like a bunch of people take pictures of the two, and she's like, you're a famous pop star because I see your ad. And he's like, yes, I am. And then he's like, meet me at the same place tomorrow and we'll hang out. And she's like, okay. And she goes, babe, you're 14 in a different country. I love you so much, but maybe you shouldn't go meet a random man. So she pretends to be sick, and then she freaking goes to the thing with him. They spend the whole freaking day together on his little moped thing. The two of them hang out, and then he's like explaining that like the girl who she looks like, her name is Isabella, and it's like, yeah, like she kind of flaked out a bit on our performances and stuff. It's really difficult. She like ran away to clear her head or whatever. So she's like, dang, the counterpart of me really sucks. And it's just her with a brown wig, which doesn't look the best, but it's okay. It looks like messy. It's like, did you just get out of a rainstorm? I say that when my hair looks like this. So then, like, they're hanging out still, and then he's like, hey, by the way, could you maybe pretend to be Isabella for this award show? Because Isabella lip-syncs all of it, so if you go, we won't get fined or sued or whatever. It's like, how would you get fined or sued if you just cancel an event? I don't know. But, so she's like, okay. So then people take pictures of the two of them. So it's like, oh my gosh, Isabella went blonde. They made it where it's like the biggest headlines, and they also happen to the Matt from home sees it and is like, oh my gosh, that's my sister because she's wearing the necklace that my mom gave her. So that's my sister. And she's pretending to be this pop star who was brunette and now went blonde. Yeah. So then, like, the next few days, she's going out hanging out with him more and, like, getting her ready, like, doing her brows and her nails and, like, getting her hair done and stuff. And she goes to this, like, fancy designer who does, like, a bunch of fancy clothes, but, oh, so ugly. There's this one that it's basically just like string lights around her, but it looks really bad, and it's not like a battery pack. It's plugged into the wall, and then they get mad when she walks too far. And then there's another one where it's inflatable like igloo thing. It kind of reminds me of like Mother Ginger's dress in the Nutcracker. That was kind of a deep cut. No, it's not. That's like the most famous ballet ever. Guys, like, I know ballet. I know a famous character from one of the most famous ballets in the world. So artsy. Paolo is like, you should tell them that, like, you want to design it yourself. So she's like being like, I want this color with this thing over, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes home or I guess she goes back to the hotel before everyone goes, and she's like, wait a minute. She's like, I'm sick. And girl, Kate picks that shit up immediately. She's like, I can see you got your hair done. I can see that you got your nails done. I can smell the acetone from the lobby. So it's like, clock her shit. But Kate realizes what's happening. And then Lizzie spills immediately. She folds under pressure so fast. Like, she's like, so like, actually, like, I'm pretending to be like Isabella, this like famous pop star, and Paolo's like super into me.
Your eyebrows finally match. Your hair has highlights. Fresh manicure. I smelled acetone the second I walked in the lobby.
She's like, I won't tell Miss Ungermeyer. And then she's like, well, what do you want to turn? She's like, well, then you're gonna go back to being like your stupid self when we get home. So she's basically just being like, don't keep this attitude up, girl. I'm still the coolest girl in town. Just maybe not in Rome. No, but so they kind of come to an understanding. It's sweet. She's talking to Gordo, her best friend, and Gordo's so sweet. It's very clear that he's super into her. Multiple people on their class trip are talking about it. You know, Lizzie's kind of like, no. Gordo's like, I don't even like her like that. You're so weird. You don't know if it's like he's jealous of like Paolo or if he's kind of just jealous of like Lizzie hanging out with someone else when it's supposed to be like their trip. But he's like very kind. He's like bending over backwards to help her and like distract people so she can leave, and is like super helpful. So it's like he's not like a jealous person where it's like, fine, if you don't want to hang out with me, I'm not even gonna talk to you. The day of the ceremony, like, award show happens, so she's like leaving, and then Gordo sees her leaving, and then Miss Ungermeyer is gonna bring food up to her, and he's like, don't go up there, like, don't go up there. And she's like, why? Do you think she's like sneaking out? Is she not actually sick? They're like arguing a little bit, and then he's like, I've been sneaking out every day. It's me. I'm the one who's suspicious of. And then she's like, well, pack your bags, you're going home, and sends him to the airport by himself.
You should look for your suitcase, Gordon. You're going home.
Sends him to the airport alone as a 14-year-old and puts him back on a plane. She doesn't go with him. She doesn't send anyone else with him. He's just sent to the airport by himself. But also, if I paid for that big bitch, no, I am staying. I am staying. You can't tell me what to do, Miss Ungermeyer. Like, it's very clear she's on, like, a little bit of a power trip. You know? Step down, bitch. But anyways, he sees Isabella, the real Isabella, at the airport when he's about to go. So he, like, goes up to her and is like, I know who this person is, because she has, like, a magazine in her hand being like, who's this girl talking to Paolo? Like, she's a blonde girl who looks like me, but it's not me because I've been away. So he explains everything to her. And while this is happening, Lizzie McGuire is getting ready to do a show. And also we find out that her parents and little stinky brother have flown to Rome because the little brother is like, I miss my sister so much. In reality, he wants her to get caught because he realizes that it's not Lizzie. I mean, he realizes that it's Lizzie talking to Paolo. So he's like, I'm gonna get her in so much trouble for pretending to be an international pop star and talking to a boy.
I miss her so much.
Oh. I can't believe I let you talk me into letting her go on that trip.
I'll go get the passports.
He's convinces his parents to fly to Rome with him, which it's like, y'all have going to Italy on a whim money? Y'all have up-to-date passports? What? No, but it's so funny because it's literally like, he's like, I miss my sister, and it's like, let's get the passports, we're gonna go see her. So then they go to the hotel that the kids are staying at. They see Lizzie, or they're trying to see Lizzie, but they turned out that she's not actually in her hotel room, and it's like, what's happening? So then everything is explained to them. All of these students from the trip go to the concert venue, and Miss Ungermeyer knocks 2 guards out so they can get in. She also nearly fought Sergey, who is Paolo's little bodyguard, because they were covering for Lizzie when she was getting back up to her hotel room one time. This was like earlier in the movie, and he was saying that Sergey was saying the elevator wasn't working. Miss Ungermeyer gets in and is like super aggressive, and then he gets out and she's like, yeah, I thought so. And actually enough, from the first meeting, they kind of just like lock eyes. I was like, they're getting together. I know for a fact those two are getting together. Miss Angry, Mr. Scary, you know? But they haven't seen each other yet. But then they're going, and while this is happening, like before she's on stage and like before she gets ready, Lizzie sees the real Isabella and Gordo, and he's like trying to explain like, hey, by the way, like I'm here because Isabella. And then she's like, I have to go. So then Isabella explains that Paolo is evil. Turns out Paolo is the one who's lip syncing. It's not Isabella. Isabella has a good voice. And Paolo was trying to set her up. And then they're going to have Isabella's mic on, but it's actually going to be Lizzie singing. She's pretending to be Isabella, so it's like Isabella doesn't have a good voice, and then Paolo's gonna be the one who's like, yeah, because he was actually the one who left the team and the record label. So Paolo's an evil mastermind.
Paolo is the one that lip syncs, not me.
Isabella is the one that wants to quit the act. Paolo is just a liar. This has all been some crazy scheme to set you up and embarrass you on stage so it looks like Isabella can't sing.
Who would have thought a 17-year-old hanging with a 14 wasn't a good person? I thought it immediately. But, like, it's so funny because Lizzie's like, no, he's actually a good person. He wouldn't do that to me. It's like, bitch, you've known him for, like, a week. But then she finally is like, okay, I'll believe Gordo and Isabella. And then it's like, wait, what's the plan? And Isabella's like, I got it. You just get ready. You're going to be the one on stage. So she goes on stage, and Isabella has switched the track, so she's the one singing for Lizzie. And they cut off track of Paolo singing, so it's his actual voice, and he sounds bad. It's, like, really bad voice cracks and stuff like this.
I could almost kiss the stars for shining so bright. Falling I go.
I feel like you could very easily explain this by being like, oh, I'm sick today. But no, he like runs off stage, and then they cut off Lizzie's mic. So it is, they cut off Isabella's track they turn on Lizzie's mic again, I'm sorry. And then Lizzie's actually singing, and then Isabella comes on stage, and it's like, meet my new friend Lizzie McGuire, and everyone's like, and then Isabella leaves the stage, so Lizzie's by herself, and then she starts doing a whole choreo thing. And I'll be honest, it kind of eats. And then she takes off part of her dress, and it's like pants underneath, and I was like, so gorge. It's so good. It is so good. I love this part so much, and it's like her singing and dancing and doing choreo. It's so much fun.
It's you and me, yeah. Hey now.
Gordo is there. All of her family is there. Her classmates are there. Sergey is talking to Paolo, and he's like, you have to do something. And he's like, yeah, I actually like them. This is a good girl. You tried to hurt her. I don't like that. I quit. So it's like, yay, Sergey. I don't know if you can do that, but cool. Like, you probably have a contract, but he quits. So then Paolo leaves really upset. Lizzie is getting cheered on, and then after this there's like a bunch of news stories like trying to talk to them, and like they're at the hotel, and then Lizzie escapes and goes to the roof with Gordo, and then like they're talking, and then they kiss, and it's so awkward. They're like, okay, so I'm gonna go back to the I'm gonna go back downstairs. I'm gonna go bye. And like I was like, this is so stupid, but then I'm like, there are like middle schoolers, they are like about to go to high school. This is so on par with like 14-year-olds. It's so funny. So then that's like the end of the movie where they go home, and it's like, yay, it's very cute. I love it so much. I'm definitely gonna watch the show after this. It's gonna be weird seeing the show after seeing the movie. I don't think it matters. There are like 3 seasons, but they're like it's like 30 episodes, or how many episodes? It's like a ton of episodes. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, because if you don't, you're gonna impersonate someone, but then you're gonna embarrass yourself by impersonating them. So, yeah. Okay. Bye!